Okay. Woo! My girl's here, ready. So excited. I need to be recording right now. Right now. Am I recording? I am recording. Oh, that means I can't hear you. I'm gonna have to use microphone. Woohoo! Can I hear you? She's connecting to audio. She's connecting to audio. Where's my mic? I hope you're laughing. Yes!
Hello.
Yes!
How are you?
So good to see you. I cannot believe how excited I am to talk to you.
Same here. I've had such a fun time watching your Facebook posts and living vicariously through you.
How are you feeling, first of all, maybe because you were sick? How are you feeling? If I'm going to talk about SEO, finally, let me get together with Julie because, I mean, one of the things that I liked about your talk, I'm sorry I'm talking so much, but I'm just so
No, no,
excited.
no. No, this
One
is
of
it.
the things I loved about your talk was something I'd never heard about was a super blog. So I want to know about that. I want to know what you do for your clients because for me, when people are writing blogs, like this is my SEO expertise, right? When people are writing blogs, they'll write like a 500 word blog post and they put it up and I'm like, "No, I'm the SEO hero. It needs to be 1,500 words. You have to have SEO optimized images." But then you come along with like you blow 1,500 words out of the water and you're like, no, bitches, it's 5,000 and 10,000. And I'm like, how is that even possible? So I want to know a little bit about you, your business, your SEO background, and a super blog and how people can get good at SEO. And if you, and one of the things we'll talk about, which I talked to Colton about and David Cardilano with email, is how much services cost. So people can have an idea after they, because you don't have a lot of money, maybe you want to do it on your own with some on-site, on-page, off-page SEO that any small business entrepreneur. But once you want to get into the more technical stuff and start ranking and being competitive, you might want to outsource those services. So you can also at the end of it, and I know we have a hard stop at like 5 to 2, you can tell people about different expectations. And this would be like where you'd start, this is midway, and this is like enterprise and what we can do. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm tired. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
let
know.
you.
It's like afternoon. It's that afternoon. Right around this time, my
No,
brain's like, no, I'm done.
it's just all the adrenaline and just talking so much and getting it all out there. It's because I had this all in my head for you since I knew we booked. And like 5 minutes to the time, my husband's home. I'm like, okay, I got to put on my Mappdom shirt because I got to do my branding. I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to talk to Julie. So yeah, tell us, about what you do and how you got into SEO and whatever else you want to talk about.
That's awesome. I really
And
like oh, yes.
thank you for being a guest on my
Oh,
crazy show.
absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's such a great honor to talk to you. And yeah, we definitely connected. I think it was over the summer. And I felt the energy, like our energies were like, ooh. So,
Like right
uh,
away.
yeah, exactly. Yes. So I love that you called it a super blog because that's not what I called it. I use the normal like industry terminology, which is a pillar page. So if someone wants to
Oh.
search it, they can do that. But I like the idea of a super blog because that's basically what it is. It's like a blog post on steroids. And I can get into that a little bit more.
So how did you get into SEO and how did you what was your process for this manual writing of the blogs and everything being custom? Because that obviously led you to knowing what you know about blogs and pillar pages and being an SEO boss. So how'd you get here?
That's a good question. So I've been an entrepreneur. Yeah, I think people are born entrepreneurs, right? So I've always had that little side hustle. But I really got serious about it when I was 19, long time ago, and I started selling products on eBay. So this was
Okay.
before Facebook. I don't even know, like before MySpace. It was before any sort of, it was really, really early in the online marketing days.
Okay.
And, I did that while I was in college. I was a Latin major, so already a nerd.
Ooh, okay.
And I had done a lot of writing up to that point. And so I've always written. I did, like the journalism stuff in high school and then in college, writing for people. And um, that was just something that I had always done. People always sort of gravitated to me for writing. And I realized about 10, 12 years ago that you can make a living by writing for other people online.
Oh,
And so that was a powerful revelation
how
at
did
the
you find that
time.
out?
Well, so at the time I was working on a PhD in Old Testament studies. So I was learning a lot of dead languages, really in the weeds with research and analysis and all this. And I needed to support my husband and me while we were doing, he was working also, but just needed to bring some extra income in. So I started on Fiverr by writing articles for people, and then slowly grew that into now an agency where I'm offering the SEO services. So I learned along the way
Okay.
SEO, content marketing, all the, learning by doing. And, it just made a lot more sense once we had our son for me to focus on this hardcore than to continue down the path that I was on.
Mm. Okay, so you're on Fiverr. Oh, I know. So how many years would you say you've been doing this?
At least 20. I mean,
Wow.
writing professionally, depending on what you categorize as professional, but writing professionally for like 25 years, really, really long time. All sorts of different content from silly little articles to academic papers. So just, all sorts of writing.
That is amazing. And I'm asking you because I think entrepreneurs kind of get into business, like you were talking about pivoting before, and they think it's an overnight success. Like they have these ads, do a 5-day funnel challenge and you'll create a whole business and you'll be a millionaire just like me tomorrow. And everybody I talk to, like the reason that I'm sure you charge what you charge and I charge what I charge is because we have the experience and the expertise, and you're looking at least 10, 15, 20 years. Like I use an example, my husband, I loved it. He does like mold remediation and stuff like that. And he told me he was training some guys and he's like, okay, well, you think you're done, but you actually got to seal it up because when it gets warm in the summertime, that smell will start to come back. I'm like, that's experience. That's experience. That's only
Yeah.
something who's in the field and in the trenches for a long time is going to know just like that. So we can go in and leave bam, bam, boom, 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 bam, 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 done. And it's perfect, right? So it took you 20 years to get to this level. I want everyone to know that it's not overnight at all. It's not.
No, it's not. And I've worked for entrepreneurs in the past who were very young. And this was actually right when COVID hit. And, they were the two comma club folks, and they pivoted too much. They had a great business, was working, and they weren't willing to ride out the the ups and downs. And I think that's where experience comes into play, is where, based on your past experience, whether it's time to pivot or it's time to keep pushing.
Mm.
And, I think that that's something that a lot of younger entrepreneurs haven't had yet because they haven't failed enough.
That's the thing. You're only going to learn that through failing. I've learned so much this year. And I mean, and that's the thing. You're always learning and growing. I'm like, I'm seasoned. I've been exposed to stuff. And then you're like, whoa, I never even saw that before. Like, you know,
Yeah.
so you've been writing for 20 years. People came to you. So when did you start? So then you got agency stuff. Where did you find clients? Was it word of mouth? And then how did you know when you really had something? Because you seem like you have something different than other people who talk about SEO. Like I say, I hear on page and off page and backlinks and. But you came with something completely different. So what did your level of experience and expertise lead you to know where you figured out, yes, Julie has the secret sauce. I have something that nobody else is really taking advantage of. And results that you've gotten for clients that proved to you you were right and onto something.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. It's taken me a couple of years looking at lots of different client accounts and understanding the data around what's working for them and what's not working to come up with this methodology where I see article types, I see different topics, I see all these different elements, and being able to understand what do successful businesses have in common when they're really doing well with SEO. And
Mhm.
a huge a huge element of SEO is authority. So you need to communicate to the search engines, if you want to rank, you need to communicate to them that you are an authority on the topic. And so, and SEO, everyone has a different opinion about SEO. So I'm just speaking to what I've seen work for my clients and to the numbers that I've seen behind the scenes. There are certain metrics that I believe search engines are looking at that indicate whether your content is authoritative or not. And a primary metric is the amount of time that people spend reading your content.
Okay, that's why they say the longer articles, 1,500, 2,500 words are better than like 500.
Yes, I firmly and fully believe that. So when when you want to position yourself as an authority, the best way that I know to do that, besides buying backlinks, because that's a whole different, generating backlinks, buying them, however you want to acquire them, that's a whole different type of authority. But on-page content authority is really important. And establishing that requires, I believe, that you create a long form, in-depth guide to your primary topic. So whatever it is that you are wanting to be known for. And those are called pillar pages. I like your super blog terminology because I think that that's a really, really good analogy.
I totally thought I got it from you. Or maybe that's
Hey,
just how my mind interpreted what you
I love
said.
it. I love it. I know. I love it so much because it really it is. It's like an article on steroids because you're looking for really, really, really long content basically that can answer all the questions about the topic, provide super meaningful value to your readers, and then generate conversions. So, these types of articles are doing all of that.
Wow. And so that one, so what would a minimum word count be, whatever, for, like we were talking about, like having 500 words or 1,500 words, 2,500 words. What do you think a minimum word count would be for a pillar page? And I want to let everyone know, so we're being specific, it's not different tabs or different pages. That's all one content, all on one page or post. And that's another thing. Does it matter if it's WordPress? Does it matter if it's on a page or a post? So yeah, the
It doesn't
minimum word
matter.
requirement.
Yeah.
Okay, and it doesn't matter. Okay.
In terms of minimums, it's hard to give a hard and fast number because it's going to depend on the keyword. It's going to depend on the industry. And what it really depends on are articles that are ranking already for that keyword. So if you were to write a keyword, let's say that we want to do something like local SEO marketing, right? We
Mm-hmm.
search that and you see what the top results look like. If those are 5,000, 10,000 word articles, you want to make sure that yours is longer because you want to provide
Oh,
value. You want to make sure that it does a better job of explaining the concepts. You want to make sure that it offers more value than the top rankings. And you want to make sure that the top rankings are actually pillar pages or blog content. Because sometimes if you do a search, it'll be a product page or something or a home page. And so if the top results are home pages, that's not a good keyword to write a pillar page on.
is there a
So
way to tell? Is it just by going to the page if you can tell if it's a blog post or a product page?
yeah, so if you, let's say that, we're looking for local SEO marketing, now you have to ignore the ad results because the ads will muddy things up, but you go to the organic results. And if it's like a service page, like it's an online marketing company and you're looking at the service page, that's not a pillar page, that's a service page. And so the type of content that you want to develop should be a service page. But if you search and you see it's clearly a blog post, which you can tell the difference by the content,
And the layout sometimes, yeah.
yeah. Then you know that creating a blog post will align with the search intent behind the keyword. So that's probably the biggest tip if anyone ever wants to do SEO. Find the right keyword and Google the keyword to make sure the content you create aligns with what's already ranking.
Well, that's a great hack.
Yeah.
I don't know why people like is a part of, so I have my MBA and I've worked in like top level corporations. So competitive research is just normal for me. Like a SWOT analysis is just normal. And sometimes you talk to people and they're like, somebody asked me the other day why they would look at their competitors. I think I know. It was for somebody who was going for a job interview and they wanted to know who else was going for the job interview. And my husband's thought that that was so weird. He's like, that's something that only a girl would do. And I'm like, And I'm like, competitive research just makes sense on all sorts of levels. I totally agree with her. Like, you have to do competitive research and you're just confirming it. How can you? Because your audience is not just seeing what you're putting out there, they're comparing you to all the other options that they have. So you have to be on par to compete. So you're saying put in the keyword and see what's already ranking and do something similar.
Yeah,
Okay.
do something better. Same type
Better,
of
better,
content,
better,
better.
better,
Yes.
better. So do
Yes.
things, I don't know if this is like relevant to this, but do things like having pictures, because I follow Neil Patel, for example. Like, he has the long ass ones and he has the anchor links and blah, blah. So is that shit important? I mean, is that stuff important in a pillar page? Having SEO optimized images, making sure you have images. And how many people have pillar posts? Because I don't recall, I mean, it could just be that I'm not online enough, but I don't recall ever seeing like a super long page. Because in my mind, I'm like, won't the reader get tired of this? So yeah, tell us about who does pillar pages, who kind of came up with them. Are there particular industries that use them or know about them?
I think so. Those are all really good questions. I believe that pillar pagers were coined by HubSpot. They're very, very huge into SEO, and I've been following them for a really, really long time.
Okay.
And so just and what makes a pillar page is the content is meant to be an in-depth guide, but also the fact that you create smaller supporting articles on this on sort of subtopics, link from the pillar page to each of those articles, and link from each of those articles to the pillar page. And so what that's doing is you're sort of establishing your entire authority around this topic, and you're providing context to search engines with the links that tell them what the different pages are about, and really, again, positioning yourself as the expert on that topic. So that's sort of the idea behind pillar pages. What you want to do, think about pillar pages almost not as a sales page in the sense that you're writing it like you would, a self-liquidating offer or a funnel or that sort of thing. But think about it in terms of wanting to engage your audience. So images, videos, GIFs, all of that is going to keep your audience engaged. So it's important to have that. And keeping them on the page is important. And then if you really want to get into the weeds, look up UX writing, because there's a subclass of writing that's focused entirely on the user experience and getting people to continue to move down the page. So when we're creating content for clients, we have all of these different elements in mind so that we create content that attracts people, keeps them on the page, and then nurtures them towards conversion.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
A lot of stuff.
It's so sexy. I'm thinking about what such a nerd I am because that was just captivating. It was just like I was hanging on every single word. Oh my gosh. Because it's stuff I know. And like I said, I don't practice it in my own business because I don't have as large a team as I want to because the finances don't support everything yet. Um, but I know because I teach people, yeah, right. I was saying 1,525 before I found out about you. And having those anchor links, but I don't think I was that specific in terms of having the little subsections and going to them. I just kind of know you should have anchor links. You know what I mean? But you really kind of break it down as to the science and the why of it, making it make sense and teaching, like you said, the search engines, how everything is connected to establish yourself as authority, which is why it's important, which is why I like to have these interviews, because again, people are like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur and I want to do SEO. So I read that I have to write blogs. So I'm going to write one blog a month that's 500 words. And oh my gosh, how come I don't have, because they don't know the stuff like the in-depth little nooks and crannies that experts know.
Yes.
So are people, how, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how popular do you think pillar pages or super blogs are? Because I imagine it's really the experts that kind of know about it, because novices necessarily wouldn't. So how high level expertise would one be to know? Put it this way, if you know anything about marketing, one of the things when people talk about, oh, I want to have a website, and then other people are talking about attribution, meaning being able to track where every lead came in so you can make much, it's a different level of marketing. So where does somebody implementing pillar pages into their marketing, where would they fall in line on the scale of expertise? Because I've never heard about it before you, and I've been in marketing for a long time. So is it like one of those Illuminati? Like I know email Illuminati people. That's what they call themselves. They're like, yeah, nobody knows how it really works. So, how sophisticated a marketing technique is this?
I feel like it's probably sophisticated in the sense that, there are a couple different elements that you have to keep in mind. There's some strategy in terms of making sure you're targeting the right keywords and that you're linking to the right articles. But in terms of difficulty, it's not difficult once you understand the mechanics behind it and once you find the right keywords. And so, it's as difficult as writing any other article, just longer than what you would expect.
Yeah. So again, it's the difference between that kind of shallow marketing and that sort of deeper level sort of strategy, which we charge people a premium for, right?
Right, right.
So, because we can just do it just like that, just like pull in all the pieces. So, I have a question around keywords, and then you can tell me about pricing and how, again, starting off as an entrepreneur, trying to do SEO for yourself until you get to the point where you're like scaling to enterprise and you outsource it, right? But my first question is around keywords. So again, now that I have to revamp the Mappdom website, because people are going to it and it's probably very embarrassing. So I'm like, I have to pick a keyword now. And like I said, I think I want to do something around marketing consulting firm because I need bigger money than MMO people can provide, right? And so I'm like, oh, I got to write all these articles about this. So that's, like I said, when I start to think about you and keywords. So tell me a little bit about these pillar pages and keyword stuffing. I know you have to use it naturally. I've heard things like you should only use it like every 20%. So if you have like 100-word article, don't use it more than 5 times. Stuff like that. Yeah, talk to us a little bit about maybe keyword selection, keyword competition. Like, I don't even know, like, I decided not to do marketing agency because, I mean, maybe I could or should, or maybe you would advise, well, yeah, it's not a bad keyword to go for, but I just thought it was too competitive and a little bit watered down, which is why I was going for a marketing consulting firm. But there also may not be enough traffic to support the kind of leads I want. So can you talk a little bit about keyword selection? I know it's important. So keyword selection, keyword importance, and stuffing, or how to use these keywords naturally in our pages so that the search engines aren't scattered. Or is she lead generation? Is she selling a product? Is she a consulting company? You know what I mean? Can you guide us or educate us or teach us about that?
Yeah, I think that you've hit on a really important topic. And honestly, I spend most of my time when it comes to SEO strategy in the keywords because that's really going to tell you what you need to focus on and what people are searching for.
Okay.
So when I do keyword research, first I need to understand what the client's goal is. So for what you're talking about, and I usually focus more on the blog content. I provide strategy for the main web pages, but blog content is really what's going to be the driver of most of your traffic. And so what I prefer to do when I'm performing keyword research and advising clients, I determine their main goal,
Mm-hmm.
and then I look at bottom of the funnel keywords. So I'm looking at keywords that people are searching for when they're close to taking action.
Is that like a long tail keyword? Would you say
It's
that's buying
yes,
intent?
yes.
Right.
Long tail keyword is another way to describe it. I like to think bottom of the funnel because they're not always long keywords,
Okay.
but bottom of the funnel keywords are things that people are searching for when they're ready to sign up for your service or when they're ready to make a phone call or when they've gotten to the point where they need expert help and they're searching for that. And so what I really like about those keywords is they tend to be pretty easy to rank for. And
Oh, right.
because of that, you can rank quickly and actually start to see return on your SEO investment faster than you would if you had started at the top where the competition is really high.
Oh, okay.
So that's the strategy that I use. A lot of times these bottom of the funnel keywords don't get a lot of search volume per month. So we're
Yeah.
talking between 20 and 200 searches a month. But the difference is that you're getting 20 people to your site with one article who are close to buying versus maybe 1,000 people to your site for another keyword who are just going to look at the article and bounce. So in my mind, 20 leads is far more valuable than 1,000 visitors.
Ooh, sexy mic drop right there. Girl, that's quotable. I
Okay, I'm
like
gonna
that.
remember that. I never know. Like sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, oh, this is really smart. And people are like, what are you talking about? And
Oh,
sometimes I say
yeah.
stuff and I'm like, that seems simple, but
That's
yeah,
why I record everything because again, I promote video because you just get so much content. But I'll give you, of course, everybody gets a recording of this so you can repurpose it for yourself. But that was, I think I got goosebumps and chills, girl. Fuck, 20 leads is better than 1,000 or 2,000 or 200 visitors or whatever the fucking number
yeah,
was. The point is a lead is better than a fucking visitor. That can
yes.
go on a shirt.
I
A
like
lead is better than a visitor. Sell that at fucking ClickFunnels or fucking TNC. Sell that shirt, bitch. Make some extra merch cash. That is some sexy SEO shit. We are too nerdy. Oh my God.
yes,
Okay.
love it. Love
So
it.
keyword research, bottom of the funnel, buyer intent. Okay. Is there such a thing as keyword stuffing? And then how, that's another thing. I'm like, I want two keywords. And then I feel like I can only ever write about this particular topic. So tell me a little bit about how, like the signal you have to send the search engine to, like, should you be trying to rank for one keyword, two keywords? Like, should it be marketing agency and marketing consulting firm and keyword stuffing? Like, so we already know about research and the good words you should use. Tell us about frequency. I know it has to sound natural, but people do, I don't know if people still try to keyword stuff. They should know better. But can you educate us about that a little bit?
Yeah, so when you're writing, I recommend, and this is for blog content, this is not for main website pages. I recommend that you focus on one keyword per article because it
Okay.
keeps it really straightforward. Now, there are keyword variations. So if you say marketing agency, marketing firm, marketing consultancy, those are probably going to be keyword variations, meaning the search intent is the same. And the way to check that is to do a Google search and see if the same results are showing up for each of those keywords.
Oh, okay.
So that, yeah,
So
you can use Google for a lot of this. Um, Keyword stuffing is still a thing. You don't want to use the keyword over and over and over again. But you do want to use it in strategic places like the page title. You want to put it in the meta description, put it in some H2s, just so that
mm,
you're sending the signal to Google and to the reader what the topic is about. And then 1 to 2% is about the golden rule in terms of how often to use the keyword.
okay.
But I value natural sounding language more than artificial numbers that, someone has aggregated at the back end of something.
Got it.
So as long as it sounds natural and it's not like, hey, we're a marketing agency and we're here to help you market your services. Check out our marketing agency because we're the best marketing agency out of all the marketing agencies in the world. Yeah, like that clearly does not sound natural.
That's a problem. That's
Yeah, right. That's a problem. But just use it naturally, like you would, like if you're talking to a friend, that's fine. And then you can use keyword variations in the text too, so you don't have to always use the keyword as it appears. Google is smart enough to know when you're using a keyword that maybe, hey, we're an agency that helps people market. Like they know that that means marketing agency.
okay. Yeah, we think Google is dumb sometimes. Yeah, Google is that dumb. We forget, I think, sometimes like how smart Google really is.
Yes.
Okay, and so does your another question I have is so you said to try to, stick to one keyword per article. And should you just have like one pillar page, one of these super blogs? And then my second question is, am I trying to rank my website for one keyword? Because then I always think like I can only write articles about this so that my website ranks for this. Or can I write articles about different things related to a topic so that YouTube still thinks, I mean, so that Google still thinks I'm an authority in a particular area. So just so I'm clear, like I always think I can only rank my website for this one keyword. Or you're like, no, a keyword for this article, but you can also have articles with related keywords. That would take me out of this SEO jail I've put myself in.
Yeah, free yourself from SEO jail
Thank
because
you. Another good shirt, girl. Another
yeah, I
shirt.
love that. I
You
love that.
too.
So here's the thing. If you have a website and you're talking about dog grooming, webinar marketing, and I don't know,
Socks.
vaccination politics, like I wouldn't like I would not recommend doing that in the same website. Okay, because those are clearly completely unrelated topics.
Right.
But let's say you're doing marketing, right? You can talk about all the main topics when it comes to marketing. So social media marketing, email marketing, SEO marketing, ads, all of that. I would recommend that you have a pillar page, at least one pillar page per main topic to help establish yourself as an authority in that topic. But let me tell you this. Let's say that you only do, I'm going to say, let's say that you only do something like email marketing, okay? Then what you want to do is you want to identify the topics in email marketing that you can write about. So you can talk about email marketing for entrepreneurs and have that be a pillar page, and then have, strategy. You can have a smaller article that links to it about strategies, about tools, about calls to action, about how to, all those different. And then let's say you have email marketing for B2B companies, and then you have email marketing for e-commerce, and then you have email marketing for I don't know, women-owned businesses. Like there are all sorts. And so each of those would be its own pillar page, and your entire site is about email marketing.
Oh, so you could have multiple. For some reason, I was thinking one super blog would just be like this one super blog or one pillar page, but you can have more than
You
one.
have lots.
Okay. And
Yes.
I like this because a lot of people want to put all of that content into a white paper or a downloadable report, in which case they don't get any of that SEO juice. So you're like, just throw it on your actual post, put it on your actual
Yeah,
page.
absolutely. And one of the things that we do is we'll take content that clients have, whether it's podcasts, YouTube videos, courses, white paper, all of books. We'll take any existing content that a client has and we turn it into these articles so that we're able to repurpose stuff they've already created. We just make sure that it's optimized for those keywords that we're trying to get traffic around. So, and I would, if you have a white paper, I would absolutely include it on the website and just break it into like 20 different articles. That way people can either get the white paper and you build your list, or they can read about it in the 20 different articles. So you've got sort of a win-win in terms of using content.
Would a PDF, because you know how like they put your address here to download the PDF and it just goes to a page. That PDF page, does that count as a pillar page, or does it have to be written on the actual blog itself?
It should, sometimes Google will crawl and rank PDFs, but it's not best practice. So
Okay.
you really, and if you're going to use a PDF, it needs to really be turned into an article, not just copy and pasted, because PDFs are created for a specific use and articles are created for a specific use or method of consumption. So you really want to make sure that you are optimizing the article for how people are going to be interacting with it.
Okay, so good. We have 12 minutes. So I don't want to keep you. Yes. Okay, but we're good. I've got like so much fucking value. This is so good. And then we'll set up another time when we're just gonna sit and we're gonna have wine and eat chips and just talk shit. But this
Yeah.
is good. And we can
Yeah.
also, because the podcast is not just about digital marketing, but it's also about being a woman and an entrepreneur. Like it's all the stuff that goes into entrepreneurialism, like bookkeeping, like just real stuff. So
Don't
we'll
say the B word.
no, I know, I know. It's another shirt. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get together and we'll talk about just like women's stuff or whatever the fuck we want to.
And
Message me.
I will.
We'll talk on Facebook.
Yeah.
Sorry, podcast listeners. This
I'm
ain't
no, I'm sorry. Sorry, that was like a terrible open loop. If you really want to know, find me on Facebook and I'll tell you what the brand is.
Yeah. Tell me you're a marketer without telling me you're a
Yeah.
marketer.
But it's
Okay.
women only. Women
Yeah.
only.
Oh my God. I love it. We have so much fun. Okay, so I have two questions. So one more is just going to be about starting off and doing SEO on your own and then like offboarding it to someone else. And is it like I worked with a company and we had someone do our SEO was like, I don't know, $3,500 a month. And I think that they were ripping off the company because I don't think they were doing much, but I could be ignorant. Like, is there monthly SEO stuff? So yeah, tell me a little bit about pricing. And then at the end, I've already interviewed Colton Havens, Ed Ray, There's someone else. Oh, David Cardilano. So, and now you. So I want to know if there were any other BOE people that you would recommend I
Yes.
interview. And so no, there are three things. Pricing, like all different levels, starter, intermediate, enterprise, like whatever, just so people can know what to expect and what to work towards. Who I should do for BOE, and I don't remember what the fucking third one got. It will come to me, but those are the two for now. Oh, I know, other SEO resources. That's right. Where do
Oh,
you learn about SEO, and are there other SEO gurus that you follow? So those three things: pricing, BOE recommendation for my next podcast interview, and whatever the third one was that I just immediately
yeah.
forgot again.
The guru question.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. Okay, so pricing. I usually, so if I'm doing an ongoing engagement with a client, it usually will include either ongoing keyword research and strategy guidance, or if they want a little bit more help, basically done for you, where we create the content and we publish. And so that starts at, depending on the level of service, $2,000 to $3,000 a month, goes up to, $10,000 to $15,000 a month if they're at that enterprise level and they need, especially if they're in a highly regulated field, they need a lot of, ongoing content. So unless the person that you are working with is developing content for you and you saw results, they were transparent with what was working and you saw the results, because we give our clients reports on a routine basis around what we're doing, what the impact is, and what we're, how we're changing strategy based on performance.
So people can see growth. So so what's a reasonable expectation? Should I be and meet anybody? Should they be expecting if I hire an SEO person or agency, I'm getting higher up in the search engines, I'm staying up there longer, getting more leads? What's a good measure for an entrepreneur or business owner in terms of if their SEO investment is successful?
Yes, the tricky part with SEO is that it does take a little bit of time to start to see results.
Like 3 months,
So
6 months? What's a reasonable expectation? I know it's going to vary, but when should someone be like, you know what I mean?
you should start to see rankings. I'm not talking about first page rankings, but you should start to see at least some pages showing up on Google and some traffic 3 months in.
Okay.
And if that's not happening, they need to have a frank conversation with your agency about what they're doing. Now, when we work with someone, we take the first month to ramp up. So it may be more like, we do the competitive analysis, we do the strategy, we make sure that we understand everything that they're doing. We develop, the voice, and we do all of that. We make sure the site is technically sound. And then we start developing content at month 2. So for us, I want them to start to see results about 4 months in.
Okay.
Usually it takes 4 weeks because we do, we focus on specific keywords and we do everything technically correct. But sometimes it'll take a little bit longer if it's a really competitive field. If you're not seeing results after 6 months, then something's not right and your SEO person sucks.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's something. And SEO, it's very easy to scam people in the SEO world
I know.
because
Yeah. They don't
you
just,
just, you just have to be a good salesperson, right? And promise people things, and you can take their money for 6 months and bail. And that hurts me that people do that because it's so wrong. And from someone who just really values the relationship with my clients, to see how many people have been taken in by SEO snake oil is just, it's just awful. So I like to be upfront with my clients, let them know, there's no guarantees, but we're going to do the best that we can to get you where you need to be.
okay. So someone should put aside, once they are like, okay, I'm making enough money in my business, I've taken us as far as we can go, and they want to start getting a professional, they should look at around 2 to 3 grand, up to 10 to 15 if it's enterprise. Do people usually go on month to month, or do you have like 6 month contracts? How does it, and is there a point where people, they're on their own, or just, I'm sure once they're doing well, they're just going to keep retaining you. But what's another expectation around that for people thinking about SEO services?
Yeah, so the good thing about SEO is the longer you do it, the better the results are if the person who's doing it knows what they're doing. And so when I work with clients, I don't do long-term contracts, but I do prefer monthly services because We're able to publish content consistently, which is a quality signal that search engines are looking for. And like I said, we start at the bottom of the funnel. And so we're looking at, depending on the business, like for your business, we're looking at dozens and dozens of articles that would be bottom of the funnel across all these different topics. And so once we start to rank for those bottom of the funnel keywords, then we can move up in the funnel step and start to target more competitive keywords. And so SEO is something that really doesn't ever end if it's going well.
Right. Right. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. Okay. Other SEO experts or blogs or newsletters do you follow? So where do you learn your stuff? I mean,
Yeah.
I know a lot of it's hands-on and practice and stuff, but if someone wanted to learn about it, who do you subscribe to?
So I look at HubSpot a lot. They have a lot of really good strategies for SEO and they're reputable. If you look at Search Engine Land, Search Engine Journal, those are two good sources. I spend a lot of time on Reddit because I will find there are a few specific subreddits that talk about SEO in helpful ways. And so I like to see what struggles people are having with SEO. And a lot of it is people who are doing it themselves and trying to figure out how to move forward. So if you look on Reddit, there are some really good subreddits around SEO there.
And then just so we're clear for everybody, SEO article writing is not the same as copywriting. I want to just, because as you were talking, I'm like, let's just quickly let people know how this is different from copywriting so that they understand the
Yeah.
difference. I think that that's important. I wouldn't want anyone leaving here thinking that they could just hire a copywriter to do this. So
Yeah, to
before
be
we
honest,
go,
I don't really know what the difference is. I just know
okay.
that when we write blog posts, we follow specific rules that I've developed over the years in terms of user experience, conversion optimization, and search engine optimization. So,
Those are different things. Yes, those are different things.
yes, copywriting, I think, is more of a general term, but uh, yeah, if you're trying to hire someone to write for you, I would be wary of hiring someone that doesn't have a really good portfolio and doesn't understand SEO because you can really damage your brand if you do something wrong and have to start completely over with a new site if things get too far down the hole. So yeah, making sure you hire the right type of person.
Is that it? Oh, and then, but actually for the podcast, where can we reach you? How can someone hire you? You can tell me, and then I'm going to put a nice little slide up afterwards, but you can say it now if you want to, Alsha.
Yeah. So my website is organicgrowthlab.com. And it's not an amazing site, but
Neither is mine.
people, yeah, like it's
Experts don't need amazing sites, damn
right.
it.
Right. So yes, people can reach me there if they want to. And I'm also on Facebook. So
Okay.
those are the two spots that I would recommend. My email is julie@organicgrowthlab.com.
Okay, cool. And then I guess quickly before we go, because we got like 1 minute, because I know you want to hard stop it too, but I want to let you go 5 minutes early so you can breathe before whatever happens at 2 o'clock happens at 2 o'clock. Yay! All right, Mama. I
Well,
love you so
thank
much,
you.
Julie.
Yes,
Thank you
thank
for
you
our
so
time.
much. We need to touch base again. I'll message you people that you should talk to because I have a couple folks you definitely need to talk to. So yes. I know. Hug. Woo,
I
have a
love you.
great
And as soon
day.
as I can afford you, I'm getting you to do all my SEO shit.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Love you.
I love you too. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
baby. Thank you.
Here.
Bless you. Bye.